Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft YouTube video. Today I'm going to show you 5 tips on how to make a really good starter base, and watch to the end to find out how you can make your base go from bad to bussin'. So let's get into the video. Here, what we are starting with right now is a fairly blank slate. It's a disgusting base, and this is what a bunch of you guys' bases probably would look like. And yeah, so you'll notice a bunch of really bad things right off the bat, and it's a 2-room base, kind of, and overall the design is pretty bad. And so yeah, we're going to try to change that today, and I'm going to go tell you 5 tips and tricks on how to make this look really good. The first tip of the day is always make your ceilings at least 3 high, because without any effort at all, you can make your base just look so much better and so much roomier. And let's do the same over here. Now that we're left with this, I think I'm going to tell you the one next step. Tip 2. So, make sure to always not make just a solid box. I cannot tell you how many box houses I've seen when it comes to dirt huts, and just add a little bit of rounded edges and corners to it. So, if we go here, it doesn't even matter what the wall material is, just get some stone, and what you gotta do is just round it out. It makes the house look so much better, and overall just a much more enjoyable experience to live in that house. And now we can come around to the other side, and basically we've already started it on this side just a little because that's just how it came, and then make sure to just round out these corners, and if you like, you can do a little stuff like that, but personally I don't like that, so I am just gonna go directly and just do some pillars in the corner. Now it looks a little bit better because it's more rounded, and we'll clear these out. So as you can see, it's already starting to take its better shape already, but I'm going to give you a couple more tips. Okay, so number 3 is texture. You really don't want to have a base without texture, and because it's pretty flat, it's all just stone. So get some andesite and some tuff. I know these are pretty tough to get, but it always makes your base look much better. Okay, so let's just randomly, wherever you really want, just dig some holes here, we'll get rid of this dirt too, because dirt is extremely ugly. Okay, so basically when you're trying to do gradients, if you have a Logitech mouse, just use its infinite scroll wheel capability and just keep scrolling, and then basically you can just place randomly. But since I don't have that, and a lot of you guys probably will not have that, just randomly, it doesn't matter if they're together, just try to not keep a setting pattern. But yeah, so it looks much better when you add a bunch of texture. So just keep texturing this whole area, and eventually you'll get something like this. And once you get something like this, you always should add buttons, because buttons give a little bit more texture, and they're just, overall, I would say, they're fairly good for spawn proofing too, but not like you'll need spawn proofing in this build. So randomly, whenever you want, just place some buttons, and it'll definitely add some good texture to the build, and it'll give more detail to it, which is really nice. Okay, and as you can see, we did all the texturing stuff to here too, and it looks really good. So that definitely is something that will make you look more professional in your builds, and I would just say makes your build one more detailed, just as I said in the other one. Now we move on to our next hack, slabs. Slabs will definitely upgrade your build, and they'll give it more, less blocky basically. So let's go get some slabs here, and we'll get some stone slabs and some cobblestone. Once you basically have slabs, you can basically do, there's literally infinite possibilities. So I like to do stuff like this, and then you can maybe do some stuff on the outside of your builds, just give more variance and textures, and basically kind of stuff like that. But you definitely have to find a good place to use them, because you don't want it to turn out like just a really like overly slabbed, because that just doesn't look good. But basically, so inside, what I recommend using slabs for is furniture. Because on the inside of your base, well, we haven't even touched on the inside yet, but when you're doing the inside, you want to make a bunch of variants and stuff that doesn't look very vanilla. And this is my favorite thing to do with slabs. So for bunk beds, you're going to want to make sure one right there, trapdoor, and then break that right there, trapdoors, then place 2 trapdoors above it right there, and then I guess we'll have to remove another button. Just make sure to place one kind of like right there, and then it gives it that bunk bed effect so far. And then just because they're slabs and they're placed correctly, and make sure to never ever place slabs on the ground where you cannot place anything on them. And then that's what you can do right there with a really nice bunk bed design. And I definitely recommend making some furniture stuff like chairs and all that type of stuff. But anyways, other than that, I definitely would say you should use slabs. And another thing is just do some slabs like this maybe, and then you can put all your type of chests. Really make your base just look really fancy. And as you can see, we've done this for the other one too. Making good use of the slabs and definitely making the functionality way up there. The exterior. People forget to do the exterior and make it look really bad, but I'm going to give you a couple tips. So always clear out the front a little, and if we're going to do a bridge just like this, don't ever just keep one solid block. Just like I said, you need texture. One main way you're going to do that on a bridge is like use campfires. For instance, a campfire, it is a little bit lower, so whenever you use a shovel, it gives a little bit more variance and stuff. And yeah, overall, just much better decision if you're going to go with a bridge. And don't make it 1 block wide. Make it a little bit longer than that. Sometimes in some parts you can make it less. But overall, I'm going to recommend doing something like this. And you should always make it go a little lower in some parts. And just make some variance and make it go down a little bit lower and give it that texture. This is definitely looking a little bit better, but I would say 1 campfire right there, and just like that. And then I'm definitely going to put some trapdoors, because trapdoors are very good for any outsides of build. They can add a little bit more variance other than some fences, but I would recommend putting some fences if you're going to do a bridge like this, like some like right here. And yeah, just make sure it looks good. That's really the main thing. Overall, I don't like something to look very clean. I like it to look worn out and not like as modern if you're going for one of these builds. Just make sure to keep it on the less blocky side and just try to take away Minecraft's main feature of being extremely blocky. Okay, and as we move into the inside, definitely whenever you're going to light something up, I recommend using lanterns. So if you're ever in another build, make sure to use soul lanterns. Or if you're in like a warm type of build, always use these. These type of lanterns are extremely good. You can hang them off basically anywhere, and it gives good variance and very, very good lighting. I recommend these more than torches, and definitely don't spam torches. Just place them evenly throughout your build if you are going to use torches. But this base is actually looking pretty good. I would definitely live in this. Now whenever you get to this bridge outside, or any bridge outside, bringing a smaller area, make sure to always keep it up against the wall, because it makes a feeling of just a little bit like cozier, I would say. I would say signs are probably pretty good for stuff like this, and just like if you want to add some signs up here and like down there, I don't know, it looks like the appearance of railing kind of against some of these walls like this. But I would definitely recommend doing something like this, because it's like a little railing. Definitely let's light this up with a little bit more lanterns. I suggest keeping them a little bit higher, and that's just my preference for tips. But yeah, I would definitely recommend keeping them a little bit higher. But yeah, so this is basically my little tutorial on how to get a really good base. I hope you enjoyed this build tutorial. Thank you for watching, and as always, like and subscribe for more good content like this. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.